nightlife spots in Hanoi. Hanoi is a vibrant city and houses the second largest population in Vietnam. But we are not going to focus on what Hanoi's rich history is, instead this is to point out Hanoi's nightlife. Hanoi nightlife is like no other. Here are some of the best places that you can go to and do when you are in the city to enjoy the most of what it has to offer, then check out this article. Just like any other countries in Southeast Asia, Hanoi also has its best nightclubs and bars. You can be able to find the widest selection of pubs, nightclubs, and bars within the old quarters, so it is not so hard to miss. You can choose from the upscale type to the side street type. It does not matter as long as you have good fun the Hanoi way. The only downside is that you can't compare Hanoi's nightlife to any other nightlife in Bangkok or Ho Chi Minh City nightlife, because it couldn't get as dirty as the latter. Prostitution is visible but can only be found within the upscale bars from the hotels, but just beware of the scams as it is just prominent. Here's a classification of different nightlife in Hanoi. Nightclubs. Going to nightclubs is probably the best idea and place to hang out and have a couple of drinks for you and your friends if you are into the loud and techno music. Most patrons consist of young locals and expats. Most of these places offer cocktails, beers, and liquors. They also have happy hour and drinks are usually priced fair starting at 70,000 VND. Bars/lounges. Bars are a bit tame compared to nightclubs in Hanoi. They also have different types of bars ranging from sports to themed bars or classified based on the music they are playing, such as Bin Min's Jazz Bar. Beer gardens/side street bars. If you want to have the open type or having a drink or two, al fresco, beer gardens or side street bars are the places to go. These places are patronized mostly by locals and even foreigners because of its unique twist. They offer local shows and local draft beers which are also sold at a very reasonable price. Top places to experience Hanoi nightlife. To give you a tip on which places to visit for a fun Hanoi nightlife, here's a couple of them. Sunset Bar at Intercontinental. If you are a fan of upscale bars, then Sunset Bar is the place. Located on a man-made island at Intercontinental Hanoi Westlake, this is a nice place to relax and have a drink or two, that is, if the budget permits. The interior is very updated, urban and classy at the same time. They offer a wide range of liquors, cocktails, and even local or imported beers which start from 90,000 VND. They also have a happy hour in between 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and they are open from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight. O'Leary's Sports Bar. If you are a sports fan, O'Leary's is your place of destination. The place is a reputable bar with branches sprawled in few other countries. Their interior design will take you back to some of the highlights of sports events through its memorabilia. They have cozy chairs and sofa, which is the typical Western sports bar ambience. Expect to see draft beers, but they also serve cocktails and spirits as well as the undying Western comfort food such as burgers and fries. Rockstore also gives you the sports bar feel. It is a bar, pub, and a restaurant in one situated in Old Quarter. The owner seems to like big music icons such as Jimi Hendrix, Elvis Presley, and the Beatles, so you can expect patrons who are also within the same age bracket. What's interesting is that they hold themed parties each week and that attracts young clients as well. Press Club is an upscale bar/restaurant which houses 2-star Michelin chefs, so you can expect to have gourmet food being served. If you don't have the budget, this is definitely not a good place to go. But you will be able to see foreigners here mostly having a drink or two. Binh Min's Jazz Bar. If you have eclectic taste and you feel that you would like to listen to some jazz music, then you should go to Binh Min's. They have just recently relocated behind the Opera House and usually play live jazz music every night. If you are not into jazz music, this is not a good place to hang out just to have a drink, since the menu is not typically priced fairly. Maybe because you get to listen to live jazz music, the price pretty much includes live entertainment nightly. Legend Beer. Legend Beer is located on the third floor of a building in downtown area. They serve German beer and also other European beers as well as German grub. They can be a little bit expensive since they brew their own beer, hence the name, Legend Beer. You will also have a great view of the busy and hustling city of Hanoi, so it is a great place to go to unwind, especially after a long day at work or touring the city. King Pirates Club. Most people would usually opt to have a drink at the regular pub. But if you want to give it a twist, King Pirates Club is the best place to go. They have a nicely themed pub. Although the place is not too big, there are also tables and chairs on the outside to accommodate more patrons. From the name itself, expect to see pirate costumes and anything of its sort. BIA Hoi Junction. Located at the center of Old Quarter, it offers a wide variety of beer offerings for those with eclectic taste. This is where locals and even tourists go to and enjoy Hanoi nightlife. You haven't been to Hanoi if you haven't sat down and have a drink or two in this place. Why is it famous? They offer cheap beer for as low as 5,000 VND. I just spent 2 weeks in Hanoi and I must say I was pleasantly surprised by the nightlife. When I was living in Saigon, people kept telling me that Hanoi was a conservative town with unfriendly people, a curfew at midnight and a suffocating weather. In fact, I found barely any differences between the two cities, and particularly at night. Saigon is in my top 3 party destination in Southeast Asia, and Hanoi is not far behind. The hundreds of bars, clubs, lounges, spas and karaokes in Hanoi range from extremely basic, 4 walls and a stool, to world-class sophisticated venues. You'll rarely pay an entrance fee for any nightclubs, and the drinks are usually cheap, even in the more upmarket spots. Girls are everywhere, from young backpackers to crazy hot Vietnamese dolls. Just open Vietnam Cupid or Tinder and you'll have so many matches you won't be able to follow up with half of them. This review is the summary of my findings: the best bars, the best clubs, the best places to stay, and how to meet girls. If I forgot something important, please don't hesitate to leave a comment at the end of the post. Nightlife areas in Hanoi. To make things simple, I would say there are 3 major nightlife areas in Hanoi. The Old Quarter is where most backpackers, tourists, and Vietnamese students hang out. It is cheap, cramped and messy. The Westlake is where expats and trendy Vietnamese party. It is naturally more expensive and the crowd is older. The Historical Center, from Hon Kim Lake down to Tran Hung Dao Street, is a posh area, particularly around the Opera House. You'll find mostly bars and clubs targeting rich Vietnamese/tourists. Please have a look at the Hanoi nightlife map at the end of this article to see the exact delimitation of these areas. Old Quarter, tourists and young Vietnamese. Old Quarter nightlife. A dense, action-packed district with at least 200 nightlife spots, most often small bars selling cheap draft beer, BIA high, as low as VND 4,000 or $0.17 per glass. It is popular with a young Vietnamese crowd, mostly students, and foreigners, backpackers, tourists. 95% of the venues close at 1 a.m., official curfew, but if you poke around you'll find hidden bars to party until at least 3 a.m. See late night/after hour clubs below for more details. You can start your evening at the intersection of Thi Hien and LNG/NGC Quinn Streets, also called Beer Corner. It reserved for pedestrians, and from there you can just walk from one place to the other. Many bars seem to have been inspired by a communist ideology: identical design, identical product, no name, only a number, and little attention paid to customer service. That said, getting drunk on those tiny stools is still a fun local experience. You'll notice that a lot of people are breathing into balloons of laughing gas. Those are not illegal in Vietnam and they cost $1 or $2. They give a mild euphoria or a feeling of numbness for a few minutes. I have the impression that they make your hangover worse on the next day though. On your pub crawl, you may include some more proper bars and clubs, for instance, Bars Factory 47, a foreign-owned, hipster bar. Better music than elsewhere but also more expensive. Open from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. Rock Store, same owner as above. Unlike its name would suggest, the DJs and live bands play rather eclectic styles of music, from reggae to pop. Western food. Local. Next to Beer Corner, it has a DJ playing top 40/EDM and a dance floor. There is also a second branch here. Backpacker crowd. Prague Pub is very similar. Dragonfly, tiny bar with an outdoor and indoor area serving food, shisha, balloons, and alcohol. They have a DJ and occasionally sexy dancers. Mainstream music. Craft Beer Pub, a rustic pub serving craft beer and Western food. Popular with young and older foreigners. Live sports on screens. Clubs. 1900 LE Theatre, my favorite club in the Old Quarter. A modern venue with live music, usually in Vietnamese, and DJs playing commercial EDM and hip-hop. Mixed crowd. Recommended for meeting girls. Closes at 1 a.m. Ball bars, I counted at least 3 of them. Ball Bar 4, Ball Bar 6, Ball Bar 19. They are crowded with 90% young Vietnamese. EDM and commercial music. They normally stay open until 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Recommended for meeting Viet girls. Hair of the Dog, a small club with commercial music opened until around 2 a.m./3 a.m. Mixed crowd, first floor with locals, second floor with foreigners. It gets started at midnight. Food. A great way to explore the Old Quarter is to join the famous Hanoi Street Food Tour, #1 activity on TripAdvisor. In 3 hours, you'll have a chance to try about a dozen delicious northern Vietnam dishes. More information on their Facebook. Westlake, or Tay District. Expats and trendy Vietnamese in this neighborhood. Trendy and chic venues are spread out, principally on the east side of the lake. The crowd is mostly made of expats and rich Vietnamese. To go there, I advise you to use Uber, only VND 50,000 from downtown. Some of the best venues are bars, sidewalk, hipster/artsy cafe with an outdoor garden. It features random live acts, hip-hop, Latin, 80s, reggae. Expat and local crowd. Birdcage, same owner as above but only opened on Fridays and Saturdays, until 5 a.m. Eclectic music from drum and bass to jungle. LGBT friendly. Standing Bar, one of the hip bars in Hanoi at the moment. It is built on 2 floors with an outdoor area from where you can see the lake. They serve 16 types of craft beer, local and imported, for around VND 80,000-90,000 per half pint. You can also eat some tapas. Events include stand-up comedy and live music, sometimes brought by the team from the now-defunct ATK, Fur Brew, also a craft beer bar, owned by a Danish brewmaster, with an outdoor garden. Small beers, 175 ml, cost around VND 45,000 and a pint, 375 ml, double this price. Closes at 11 p.m. The Republic, Aussie-owned expat bar. Good for eating Western food and watching sports, NFL, AFL, football, rugby, etc. Popular hangout on Sundays. Lake View. Close early at midnight. Unicorn, a dive bar that you could easily miss, but worth a try for their affordable cocktails. Perfect to start the evening. The Neat, a laid-back German bar with reasonable prices, decent pub fare and live music/DJ. 88 Lounge, a trendy wine lounge, managed, and partly owned, by a French guy. It's a romantic location for a date. More expensive than average, but you get happy hours from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Check their Facebook for wine tasting and live jazz events. Clubs, Savage, a new nightclub, bar, and lounge in the Westlake area. It is owned and managed by 4 French based in Hong Kong. Popular with expats. Techno and non-commercial electronic music. Closes very late. Expensive. Good cocktails. My favorite nightclub in Hanoi. Hero, one of the most popular nightclubs in the city with a mixed crowd of Vietnamese and foreigners. Good setup on 2 floors. Reasonable prices. Pickup spot. Hanoi Rock City, the main alternative event and art space in Hanoi. It features live bands, DJ performances, open mic nights, and exhibitions. Entrance is usually free but drinks pricier than elsewhere. Check their events on Facebook before heading there. HRC. Historical City Center, rich Vietnamese and tourists. The Historical City Center, excluding Old Quarter, from the northern tip of Hon Kim Lake until Tran Hung Dao Street, is filled with upmarket restaurants, lounges, bars, and nightclubs. Many are targeting Vietnamese, and more particularly the high society, high so. You may see some expats and tourists in some specific venues as well. Below are some of the current hot spots, bars. Cosa Nostra, a classy, minimalist bar with concrete floors and walls. Comfortable leather sofas. 2 floors including a small terrace. Cheapest beer costs VND 100,000. Closes at midnight. Teodoro, just next to Cosa Nostra, it is often considered one of the best bars in Hanoi. It was even featured in Time magazine. It is owned by a prominent Vietnamese-American artist who made it a hub for the chic bohemian crowd. A bit overrated in my opinion. La Plume Bar at Press Club in front of Conifer Hotel, This elegant restaurant/lounge serves some of the best cocktails in the city. It is not too crowded, so it is a fine choice to bring a date. VND 290,000 for a signature cocktail, plus 20% tax and service. Clubs, Camellia, part of the Melia Hotel in downtown Hanoi. It is perfect for having drinks with a group of friends. Eclectic music. Trendy design. Expensive. Chic Vietnamese and expat crowd over 40. The Bank, a large, upmarket club with a New York vibe. Maybe the best pickup spot for Vietnamese girls in Hanoi, but beware the prostitutes. Recommended if you don't mind hearing commercial music. The Breakfast Club, a new club attracting Vietnamese socialites. As I checked their Facebook today, I see that they are closed temporarily due to landlord issues. Elsewhere outside of these areas, there are many nightclubs, KTVs, and beer clubs targeting Hanoi's middle to upper class. I've listed the most interesting on my Hanoi Nightlife map below. Hanoi Nightlife recommendations: best Vina House nightclubs with sexy dancers. Vina House, or Viet House, is a specialty of Vietnam which is just as remarkable as banh mi or pho. It is a crossover between pop music and techno with almost the same bass line on every track. Here is an example. There are at least 15 Vina House nightclubs in downtown Hanoi, and I went to most of them. To be honest, it was a bit repetitive as they are not really different from one another. Basically, they are all quite luxurious in appearance, with flashy lights, modern LED displays, high tables, and a few VIP corners. Vietnamese come in groups, sometimes only guys, sometimes with girls who could be their girlfriends or hookers. There is a DJ, often a sexy girl, who mixes Vina House, and a male MC who shouts at the crowd between songs. The sound is always deafening. Bring earplugs. In most places, you also have sexy dancers wearing a different uniform every night. For me, it's the best part. The larger clubs have live music, unfortunately singing very boring Vietnamese pop. Dress code: guys will be expected to wear shoes and long pants. For girls, high heels and skirts are recommended, but as a foreigner, you'll manage to enter without. Those clubs are not recommended for clubbers who are 1, alone, 2, penniless. Even though the entrance is free, you'll be expected to buy a bottle of alcohol, between VND 1,000,000 and VND 2,000,000 for the cheapest ones, if you want to get a table. The choice of drinks by the glass or by the bottle is limited and pricey. A beer will cost from VND 100,000 to VND 200,000. Typically, Vietnamese will also add a shisha and a fruit platter to their table. They don't really need it, but it's all about showing off how much money you can spend. The service is particularly attentive because all waiters expect a tip. Even when you go to the toilet, the janitor will do everything he can to get a few dongs, from turning on the faucet to giving you a back massage. The best Vina House nightclub I've been to in Hanoi is called Fame. It is packed any day of the week and features some of the hottest dancers in Vietnam. Best Viet-style beer gardens and beer bars. Unlike the ones in Thailand that are often laid back, beer gardens in Vietnam resemble nightclubs and usually have a DJ/loud music. The only difference is that they are cheaper, they serve food, and they are partially in the open air. The new Sphinx Beer Bar is one of the most impressive I've seen in the whole country. It has a massive entrance resembling a temple, a staff dressed up with Egyptian costumes and a huge stage featuring live music acts, DJs, and sexy dancers. Beer costs from VND 40,000 for a glass of Tiger up to VND 120,000 for imported Belgian beers. Sparta is similar, but with a Greek/Roman theme. Closer from the tourist area, the famous beer club chain Vuvuzela has opened a branch near the cathedral and another one in the Old Quarter. They close early though, and they didn't seem to be so crowded when I passed by. Best live music live band in 1900 for the usual top 40 covers. Rumors near Westlake is fun, not too expensive and popular with foreigners. Local cafes Polygon, I or Swing also feature cover bands, sometimes singing in Vietnamese, in a more relaxed atmosphere. Closer from the Old Quarter, the Doors has the favors of young students. Their drinks are cheap and they have live bands from Tuesday to Sunday, open mic on Thursday. Walking distance, Rock Store has more varied bands but a more random schedule. Check their Facebook. Idem with Hanoi Rock City. For more specific genres, hard rock, metal, rec room, blues, jazz, Binmin Jazz Club, Latin music, salsa, bachata, kizomba, Biso Latino. Rooftops. At the time of writing, there are only a handful of rooftop bars in Hanoi. The existing ones are not really happening but still okay for a drink. The most famous is the Rooftop Hanoi on the 19th floor of Pacific Place, VND 190,000 for a cocktail. Gay Bar's Golden Cock is the official gay bar in Hanoi. Located next to Polite Pub, the oldest in Hanoi, its sign only says GC. Birdcage, see description above, is not specifically gay but it is open-minded and popular with the lesbian and gay crowd. You can check the Facebook page of Hanoi Panic for special LGBT events. Late night/after hours clubs. Even though there is an official curfew at 1 a.m., there are many places where you can party until sunrise. After 1 a.m., many clubbers will head to Hero, which closes at 3 a.m. For a more underground experience, I also recommend Savage Club, but be careful as they won't let anyone in after 2:30 a.m., the party lasts until 4 a.m. On weekends only, Birdcage is open until 5 a.m. In the Old Quarter, several small clubs and bars stay open after 1 a.m. until late, behind closed doors, to keep the police away. Temple Bar is open until 3 a.m. Tom's Bar until 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. Ball Bar 4 and Long Play, LP, until at least 5 a.m. Hotels near Hanoi Nightlife. You can read my article Best, Girl-Friendly, Hotels near Hanoi Nightclubs for more details about the best places to stay in the city. If you don't have time to read it, here is a quick summary. The best location is anywhere near the St. Joseph Cathedral. It is walking distance from almost everything, including the airport shuttle, the train station, the Hon Kim Lake, the opera, and the Old Quarter. 80% of the bars and clubs listed in this review are also within 2 kilometers. Some of the best accommodation in this area are more than $100 per night. The 5-star Apricot Hotel, home of Playboy Club, between $50 and $100, the Chi under $30, Church Legend Hotel. Girl-friendly hotels. Since many hotels in Hanoi are not girl-friendly, meaning they won't allow you to bring a girl to your rooms if she was not part of your initial booking, you may want to reserve a room in more open-minded properties. The chain A25 is reputed for offering short-time rooms, VND 180,000 for 2 hours, and they have very reasonable prices, between $25 and $35, for an overnight stay. There are several locations near the city center, such as hotels with massage/spa plus what's even better than a girl-friendly hotel? A girl-friendly hotel that has an in-house spa plus. For instance, Fortuna Hotel, $160 per night, Oasis Hotel, Basin Hotel, and Hanoi Hotel, around $80 per night, Windy Hotel, $40 per night. For a complete review about Hanoi spas, you can read my article Top 15 Massage Parlors in Hanoi. Note, if you book using one of the links above, I will receive a small commission from Agata. It does not affect the price you pay, and it helps me run Jakarta 100 bars. How to meet girls in Hanoi. Hanoi, just like Saigon, is one of the best cities in Southeast Asia to meet girls. The first reason for that is that Vietnamese girls are keen to date foreigners, even when there is a 10 to 15 years age gap. They won't mind exchanging numbers or add you on Zalo, Vietnamese WhatsApp, after a short chit-chat. On the downside, many cannot speak any English and they are conservative, saving themselves for marriage. Don't expect to bring them to your hotel on the first night. The second reason is that Hanoi seems to attract more female tourists than male ones, based on my observation. Unlike in Thailand, you won't see many hordes of single guys trying to bang anything that moves. The advantage of foreign girls is that they can be easier to approach in clubs and more liberal-minded. On the downside, many are not as pretty as Vietnamese girls, in my opinion. Best pick-up spots. The best bars and clubs to pick up girls in Hanoi are the following: to hook up with foreign girls, anywhere in H.Yen Street/Beer Corner area, local, Dragonfly, Tom's Bar, Prague, Temple, in backpacker bars, Chien Hostel and Hanoi Backpacker Party Hostel, for both foreign and Vietnamese girls, 1900 Club, The Bank, Hero, Camellia for Vietnamese girls, Ball Bars, The Doors, Vina House nightclubs, difficult unless you can speak Vietnamese. Most girls are either hostesses or accompanying guys. Online dating. Online dating is your best friend for hooking up in Hanoi as long as you use the appropriate websites/apps. Tinder, half the profiles are Vietnamese, half are foreign. It works well if you have nice pictures of yourself and if you are a good chatter, witty, funny, and fast typer. Easy to get matches but a bit superficial. Girls residing in Hanoi may not be interested if you are only staying for a few days. Vietnam Cupid, this is the best site for those looking for a more serious relationship with a Vietnamese girl. They have 500 to 1,000 girls online at any time, most of whom are interested in meeting a foreigner for marriage. I prefer it compared to Tinder because I can use it on my laptop and have more interesting conversations. It is also the best dating sites for those who are not living in Vietnam. Girls won't mind if you are living far away as long as you're serious. Badoo and Scout, a mix between Vietnam Cupid and Tinder, but with less available girls and more prostitutes. Zalo, WeChat, and BeeTalk, these messaging apps have a look-around feature allowing you to add girls who are located near from you. If you can speak Vietnamese, they are a gold mine. If not, it will be more difficult. To maximize your chances, don't rely on only one app/site and don't hesitate to cheat by upgrading to premium membership. The cost is usually reasonable, $25 for a month in Vietnam Cupid, and it will give you the edge over the competition. You can also read 15 best online dating apps and websites to meet Asian girls. Hanoi Nightlife map post tags, Asian Nightlife, Hanoi Nightlife, Vietnam Nightlife, previous posts, next posts.
Việc phải nói là đặc biệt chứ danh được thế.